Welcome to DROD'S MMA Unboxing. Keith one-time Thurman won a split decision over Danny Swift Garcia, and this is my post-fight review. Basically, both fighters notified each other attacks. As I stated in the previous video, both fighters were counterpunchers. Keith Thurman, he wanted Danny Garcia to come forward so he can counterpunch, and the way he set that up was basically by using his legs. And Danny Garcia wanted to come forward, but at the same time, he really wanted Thurman to come forward so he can land a power punch. But both guys were very smart, and they were very careful and not. They didn't just throw caution to the wind. They were very meticulous in their attacks. Garcia, although he said he wanted to go on the inside, as I stated in my other video, he's a finesse fighter. He's not that type of fighter like a Sean Porter that's going to put the pressure and get into Keith Thurman's chest. And I felt like if he was going to hurt him with body punches, he would have to throw a lot of body punches to do that. A lot of people underestimate Keith Thurman's heart and his willpower and his strength, and that's a big mistake. He's a lot tougher than people think. Also, body punching takes a lot of work. It means that you risk getting countered, and in this fight, a lot of people, and I was listening to the judges and them, a lot of people were giving Keith Thurman the points for his attack by hitting the head, but not too many people were focused on the body punches that Danny Garcia was landing. It's just basically, that's what makes it very difficult to judge a fight, because you have to ask yourself who has what game plan and who's implementing their game plan better. It's hard to tell, because I knew going in that Danny Garcia wanted to get into the body, and he was landing in the body. He was also countering very well. Both guys counter each other very well, so it's very hard as far as who imposed who will. No one imposed their will. Thurman, he wanted the pop shot, and he wanted to stay on the outside. Danny Garcia didn't stop him from doing that. He didn't slow him down with body punches. So I can't say he implemented a better game plan in that respect. The same thing with Keith Thurman. He didn't stop Danny Garcia from coming forward. He didn't push him back. He didn't stop him from throwing attacks, from throwing punches. So I can't say he imposed his will and he had a better game plan. So from that aspect, the fight was a draw. Who landed the cleaner punches? I felt Keith Thurman landed the cleaner punches, but at the same time, Danny Garcia was landing some clean punches too. It's very difficult to judge a fight like that. That's why I wish these guys would have kind of threw caution to the wind and did more to keep that O. Judging criteria are very weird. A lot of people, I don't know how people score their fights. And for me, I score based on clean punches and ring generalship. And as I said, neither one of these guys outdid each other. I don't really go by copy box numbers because human error. Like, for example, sometimes they would count punches on the arm as a power punch or as a punch. So I go based upon clean punches with my own physical eye. I felt Danny Garcia needed to use his jab more and use his head. For some reason, this new generation of fighters, they do not like to use the jab. It's the weirdest thing in the world. If he was going to push Keith Thurman back effectively, he needed to use a jab. And when he did throw his jab, he landed very well. I just don't know why he didn't continue using that jab. Even all the old guys back in the old days had a jab and they had rhythm. They all had a bounce. They all moved their heads. It was just fundamental to boxing. Even Greg Hagen. When you watch Greg Hagen fight, he had a jab. He bounced. He was on his toes. It was common back then. It's not common anymore. I don't get what's happening to this new generation of fighters. So, and the thing is, a lot of people are saying it's controversial. It's nothing controversial about this. I'm gonna take this out of Dana White's page. Don't leave it in the hands of the judges. It's very weird to see a person, two fighters who are undefeated, not do more to keep their O. You should never leave it to the judges. And it's very weird because back in the old days, guys would fight each other often at the prospect era, and basically promoters would put these guys in who was 18-0, 19-0, basically young guys, and they were like a process of elimination. They would fight each other, and the winner would be the person who the promoter knew that this is my star, and now I can put my weight behind him. Guys don't do that now. Now you see guys being 29, 30 years old, without ever fighting anybody. and without ever fighting another tough fighter or another undefeated fighter. When you fight an undefeated fighter, it does something to your mentality, to your psyche, because undefeated fighters put more on the line. When Wilfredo Benitez fought Sugar Ray Leonard, Benitez was 21, Leonard was 23. They both were notifying each other attacks, and both were very skilled and methodical. But over a period of time, Sugar Ray knew that if he was going to stay undefeated, he had to take the fight over, and he was that guy that took the fight over. I didn't see that in this fight, so I can't really, it is what it is. I'm not going to really get mad over controversial decisions. I personally, I don't really care. I didn't really score it either way. I just like the fight. I just love watching the fight and the skills and everything involved. And that's pretty much how I feel about it. This is DROD'S MMA and Boxing. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you like the channel, and do me a favor. Leave a comment at the bottom. Tell me who you thought won and who implemented the better game plan and what's next for Danny Garcia. This is DROD'S MMA and Boxing. Y'all have a good night.